Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Learn Academic English. You may know that I have a series of grammar shorts, short videos about grammar on my channel. And today I'm continuing that series with a quick lesson about should inversion to make conditionals. So let's talk for a moment about the word should. You know that in English, should is a modal verb. That means that we use the modal verb plus a second verb in the base form. And we use should to give advice. For example, if you ask me, what can I do to improve my English? I can say, well, you should watch TV in English, or you should read in English for 10 minutes a day. I'm giving advice when I use the modal verb should. But there's another way to use the verb should, and it has a completely different meaning. This is an advanced grammar topic. It's very useful if you're living in an English-speaking country or spending a lot of time with English, maybe at school or with your job, because we use this grammar a lot in formal situations. By the way, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe and leave a comment if you find it helpful. So let's get into the grammar of should for conditionals. Again, the word should has two uses. You can use it to give advice, that's the more common way, or you can use it in place of if. So first of all, for should inversion, let's talk about what inversion means. English has a few inversion rules, and inversion means that we flip the order of the subject and the helping verb or the modal verb. There are some other times that we do this. The most common one is when we ask a yes-no question, like, did you go to the party? We invert the subject and the helping verb. So for this use of should, we're going to use inversion, where we're going to flip the order of the modal verb should and the subject of the sentence. And we use this in zero or first conditionals. And we'll talk about those in just a second. And we want to remember that this is formal, that we don't use this in conversation with friends, but it's very common in more formal situations. For example, if you read the newspaper or if you listen to the news, you can often hear this grammar. So first of all, let's look at the zero conditional. What is the zero conditional? You know this conditional because it's the first form where we talk about something that happens regularly and we use the simple present tense in both clauses. For example, if I have time, I do yoga on Saturdays. Okay, so notice that both verbs are in the simple present. And what does this mean? This means if I have time, every time, I do yoga on Saturdays. This is a regular habit that every Saturday, if I have time, I do yoga. Or we can say, when it rains, I prefer to stay indoors. Notice that for this zero conditional, we can also use the word when, and it has the same meaning, that if this situation happens or when this situation happens regularly, what is the result? I prefer to stay indoors. Both verbs are in the simple present. Okay, let's look at the next one, which is the first conditional. The first conditional is used to talk about a condition that will have a result in the future. For example, if I have time on Saturday, I will go to the party. So which Saturday am I talking about here? Am I talking about every Saturday? No, I'm talking about a specific Saturday that is coming in the future. Notice that even though we're talking about the future, because Saturday is in the future, we use simple present tense. And that's just the rule with these conditional dependent clauses. Or, if climate change worsens, there may be wars. So notice here that we can also use a modal verb instead of will or be going to talk about the future. What may happen in the future. Okay, so now let's do the should inversion. So we're going to follow a few easy steps to do that. We're going to take out the word if, or in this case we have when, and then we're going to add the word should, okay? And it looks like a question because the modal verb comes first, but it's not a question. it is a conditional sentence. And then, because we're using the modal verb, we have to double check the main verb to make sure that it's in the base form. So let's double check. Should I have time? Okay, that's okay. Should it rains? Okay, now we have to make a change. This verb needs to be in the base form, so we're going to take out that S. Should I have time? Okay. And should climate change worsens? We need to change this to the base form, so let's take out that S. Okay, now let's read the new sentences that we have. Should I have time? I do yoga on Saturdays. Should it rain? I prefer to stay indoors. So to be honest with you, these sound a little bit strange because, as I mentioned before, we almost always use should inversion in formal situations. These are not really formal, so these do sound a little bit strange, but they are correct. Next, should I have time on Saturday? I will go to the party. Should climate change worsen? There may be wars. So these sentences might sound a little weird to you because they are not as common and they are tricky because we have this inversion. It sounds like a question, but it's not. The meaning of should is different from what you're used to, but this is very common. So before we stop, I wanted to mention that because these are usually used in formal situations, it's very common to hear it when someone is giving you directions. For example, should you require assistance, please visit our office. Or, should you need more information, feel free to call. Before I go, don't forget that it's very important for you to practice the grammar in order for you to learn it and get better. So, in the description box below or in the comment below that I'm going to leave, I'm going to include a few examples of conditionals, and I want you to try to practice by changing them using the should inversion, and you can leave your answers in the comments below, and I will give you feedback. Take care, see you soon, and don't forget to let me know if you have questions.